Hi and welcome to another video with us here at Footy Index Scout. The end of the current season is fast approaching. Not only does that signal the end of competitive games, but for a lot of players it also means the end of their current contract. Some players will have run down their contracts in the hope of claiming a bumper pay increase at another club, whilst others are simply deemed to be no longer required. Either way, it means some of the more high profile players will be in the media spotlight as they look for a new home. We thought we'd take a look at some of those players and discuss if they might be worth investing into and adding them to your Football Index portfolios. Whilst most of these players we've picked out are probably not worth investing into immediately, we think they are well worth adding to your watch list and keeping an eye on their situations. Let's start with Arsenal's long-standing Spanish midfielder Santi Cazorla. An injury-hit season has seen him hardly feature for the Gunners, and at his advancing years of age, those injuries may just be what forced an end to his Arsenal career. The likelihood is that Cazorla will head back to Spain to finish his footballing years in the sunshine, but as a popular figure amongst fans and the media, there is bound to be some focus on where his next destination will be. If a Premier League club, maybe a team like West Ham for example, were to approach him, we think there would certainly be a worthwhile investment to be made. But for now, Cazorla is probably wanted to hold off buying and instead wait to see who he might sign for. Second up is a name everyone will be familiar with, Mario Balotelli. As a player who could bring attention upon himself in the middle of an empty room, Balotelli is someone who everyone likes to keep an eye on. Currently having a pretty productive season for Nice in France, Balotelli's contract is up for renewal in the summer. Despite his baggage as a person, it would be no surprise to see a number of clubs willing to take a risk on such a talented player. Especially as Super Mario is still relatively young at just 26 years of age. Some might even consider him to be only just reaching his peak. As a free transfer, Balotelli would certainly interest plenty of clubs who otherwise might not be able to attract players of Balotelli's calibre. As a previous buzz winner whilst playing outside of the Premier League, he has proven form in this department. Whilst the likelihood is that Balotelli will remain in France, he is always a name to keep in mind, especially on the Football Index where media magnets are king. The third player is Chelsea icon John Terry. With the end of a spectacularly successful career at Stamford Bridge fast approaching, lots of eyes will be on discovering Terry's next destination. The likely choice is to see out his twilight years in the MLS and follow in the footsteps of fellow former England superstars David Beckham, Steven Gerrard and of course Chelsea teammate Frank Lampard. No matter where Terry moves on to, we will undoubtedly see plenty of media attention as the tributes fly in. As we've seen in the past with both Lampard and Gerrard, when truly iconic English players retire or leave clubs, there is always a couple of days spike in their price. For this reason alone we think Terry is one to deeply consider buying. He will almost certainly only be a short-term hold, but we think he's guaranteed a couple of buzz wins and a short, sharp price increase to boot. Our fourth and final player is perhaps the one we think holds the best value of all. Manchester City's Yaya Toure looks to have several outcomes to his career at the end of this season. He could sign a new deal at City after seemingly making peace with Guardiola, or depart for a big money deal abroad. But most interestingly, there have even been rumours that City's Manchester neighbours have a keen admirer of Yaya in Jose Mourinho. If that transfer were to gather momentum, we would expect his price to explode in spectacular fashion. Wherever Toure goes, there is almost guaranteed to be plenty of media attention as one of the Premier League's most high-profile midfielders approaches the next stage of his career. One other plus point to Toure, especially compared to the other two Premier League players featured, is that he's currently playing an active part in his club's season. His standout moments may not be as often as they used to, but as someone who picks up buzz points when making game-winning contributions, he's useful enough to add to your portfolios at any time. So there we go, 4 players are out of contract at the end of this season that we think still have something to offer the Football Index. The players featured here, as mentioned previously, may not be the most attractive players to own immediately, but we think they are worth at least adding to your watch list and keeping an eye on their next moves. Are there any other out of contract players you think are worth considering? Or maybe you would simply like your club to sign one of the players we've featured? Let us know with a comment below. As always, remember to follow us on Twitter at Footy Index Scout. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up and of course subscribe if you're new to the channel. Finally, check out our website at footyindexscout.co.uk where you will find all our articles, a full history of buzz winners, polls and loads more useful information. Thanks again and we'll see you next time.